Hey guys, I'm Jordan and you're watching Fixbook. After watching this video, your car problems stand about as much a chance as this laptop does against my hot lead. Now, make sure you stay tuned so you can see what happened to the laptop at the end of this video. And as always, don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment down below. So today, I'm going to be showing you how to remove and replace the engine and transmission out of your 92 through 2000 Honda Civic. This is a 93. Alright, so here's some of the tools that you're going to need for today's project. And these combination wrenches, which I'm going to list off here, will also represent sockets. You may need shallow, deep well sockets, and I used a 10mm, a 12mm, a 14mm, a 17mm. So you're going to need wrenches and sockets of those size. Also a 19mm and a breaker bar, a 32mm for your axle nut. Magnet also comes in handy. I got a 3/8 ratchet. I got a larger 3/8 ratchet because some of these bolts are going to be pretty difficult to remove. You also need a flathead screwdriver along with a Phillips head screwdriver, which I actually forgot to put in here, but just remember you need a flathead and a Phillips. Also with various extensions, a universal joint, and basically it's also called a swivel joint or something like that. And then PB blaster or liquid wrench, WD-40, something to help you get rusted fasteners off. And also, you see this bar right here laying beside my breaker bar. You may need that to go as an extension on your breaker bar to remove your axle nut. You may have some trouble there. I found a pry bar also to be very helpful. And you'll need these other tools as well. A nice floor jack stands. And we also have this cherry picker or engine hoist, which will prove to be very useful. It's gonna allow you to actually pull your engine and transmission out. And then you also may find it useful to have a torch system like this. If you can't afford that, or if you don't necessarily have that on hand, then at Walmart you can get one of those little blue bottles with a nozzle on the end, and that may help you heat up some of your fasteners there that may be stubborn coming out. So with all that said, we'll go ahead and begin today's project. Okay guys, now the first thing you're going to want to do is disconnect the negative battery cable from your battery. We have both of them there. So go ahead and get that negative battery cable off. Then we're going to, remove the battery there, we're going to also get rid of our power steering pump reservoir here. We've got a hose here, and we got two hoses connected to the reservoir. You can see when we pull this reservoir off, we got two little male parts there, and then we've got these two hoses. So just remove those, and then we can set this guy off to the side. And then we also got this radiator we gotta get out of the way. You go ahead and start and pull that coolant reservoir out. It works about the same way as the power steering reservoir. It's got that little piece where it hooks in and it just slides up out of there. Oh yeah, we got the electrical connector right there. You just need to, you'll squeeze and pull it out. Squeeze right there and pull it out. And then we got, it's probably like a 10mm bolt. You gotta go ahead and undo that and remove that piece. Then we have 3 coolant hoses we need to take care of. Four coolant hoses we need to take care of. And we got one sitting right there. And to get those coolant hoses undone, you're just gonna take a pair of pliers and squeeze those coolant hose clamps, and then
you have 2 transmission cooler lines.
Alright.
Same thing.
And where are they at?
They are right here.
Alright.
When you pull the radiator up, you can see what I'm talking about.
And now we're just pulling it out. Once you get all that stuff out, you will be able to just pull your radiator out. And remember to have a drain pan underneath, because you're going to be dumping a lot of coolant. And here we can see our transmission lines that's going to go into the radiator and cool the transmission fluid. And they connect right here. Now we got a better shot of that. And the hoses just go on the end of those transmission lines. Alright guys, now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to remove that airbox and tube there. You're going to begin by using a Phillips head screw to loosen up your intake tube clamp there. And then we'll go ahead and disconnect that guy and then work on getting that box off.
That will pull off.
There you go.
That's a tube.
Alright.
Got a bolt there.
We got 1, 2, 3, looks like 4 of them total, right?
Should be 3.
3? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing there, so yeah, 1, 2. And 3.
The box comes right out, them hooks from your air dam down there.
Alright.
You have successfully removed the air box.
Alright.
And you've got all your electrical wires that come up. We're going to keep the electrical wires because of the way we're doing it. We're taking it out of a junk car. That way if we need any wiring, going back with the other one, we have it.
Okay. In case you needed to remove the wiring harness. I know these all be 10 millimeters.
Yep.
Alright. And now we're just disconnecting these 3 connectors here. Just gonna do it by pulling and squeezing. And guys, the other thing you want to do is you'll pull off this bracket right here and it just kind of slides off. I think there's a thing you got pushed right there.
Push it right there and then slide off.
Push and slide off.
These right here, it's got a little clip. You pull them down when they're located. You just pull them down, slide them to the side.
Alright.
You notice this wiring harness goes back into the car. So you don't need that. You will have to take these 2 here loose.
And what do those do?
They are the ones that goes to the power block over here.
Alright.
It's your hot wire feeding your block here. That's the wire that goes down, looks like it goes to the starter.
Alright. And we're using an 8mm socket to remove those 2 fasteners. Now we're removing the heater hose. Sitting right down in there. And that goes to the heater cord?
Yeah, it hooks to the heater cord.
Alright.
You have 2 of them. One hooks to the heater valve and the other one hooks to the heater core. Well, it's the one that hooks to the heater core, it's easier to take it off right here at the motor.
Alright. So next you need to get both those hoses removed. The one we just showed and this one is taken off right now. And if you have a hard time getting the coolant hose off, you can do is take some pliers and just kind of rock it back and forth there and you'll break the connection and then you'll be able to just pull it right off. Next thing we'll disconnect is this ground wire. Hooked up from the transmission to the body of your car. Okay guys, and the next thing we gotta do here is we gotta remove this power steering pump. And we've already removed the hose. There's 2 10mm bolts sitting there. And kind of set them off to the side. You probably get away with leaving them on there and then we'll just set the power steering pump off to the side. We're going to be transferring this to our new vehicle, but basically we got a 12mm bolt coming on the other side there. You got to remove them, and then one down there sitting on the bottom too. And then with that adjuster right there, we'll be able to put the power steering pump down. And then if it's a 960 2000, you'll have a 12mm bolt going that way and one down the bottom. And once you loosen the top one, you loosen that bottom one and it'll pivot on the top one and you'll be able to slide forward down there from the bottom and you'll be able to get your belt off, and then you'll be able to set your power steering pump off to the side. So there we go. Now we got our power steering pump off, and there we go. Now I'll just set him off to the side. Guys, next thing we got is we got this whole wire connecting setup right here, and you got a 10mm bolt holding the bracket and the wires in, and it's 3 connectors that you got to unplug it. 2 connectors, sorry. Yeah, 2 connectors you're gonna squeeze and pull out there, and take a 10mm off, and
one's blank.
One's blank. Okay, I got you. So it looks like somebody may have 3.
Yeah, some may, some might not.
All right, so yeah, just get that out of your way, and then we'll move on to our next step.
Basically, you loosen it up.
And what's that? Both 12mm.
On this, you gotta get this one all the way down to the other side.
Okay.
Cause your little gap there is where it comes out.
Alright, so yeah, you'll be able to pull back and pull that wire up off there. Then we've got how this little thing works here. That little thing fits in the thing there and it wraps around. And you just study it when you take it off there, you'll figure it out.
The easier to take it loose on the filter.
Alright, so yeah, we'll take that fuel line off there. And it's a 14 millimeter and...
No, 12.
12, okay, 12. And
12 and a 17.
A 17. Yeah, I was gonna say, I think on the 96 2000 it's a 17 on top.
You could have left the 12 in there and unscrewed the whole thing.
Okay, yeah.
But if you take the 12 out, it releases the pressure.
Yeah, that's a good thing. So there you go, now we'll get the line off. Ready? Go.
Always keep your copper washers. What they do, one goes on top of the line, one goes on the bottom of the line. Your line goes in the middle, you screw it down in there, it seals it off so that it don't leak.
Alright.
You put it on there and you don't seal it off, as soon as you turn the switch on, it will leak.
Alright. We're taking the line off that charcoal canister, which is that black looking can right there. And we just take off that one line?
I'll take off that one too.
Alright.
That one goes over to the sensor. And you gotta be careful with the little kits because they will break off.
Okay.
This one goes over to the sensor. This one runs up into the body. We're going to take it loose so we can get the charcoal canister out of the way.
So yeah, we're removing all the hoses so we can go ahead and just remove that charcoal canister so it's not in our way.
The line going to your fuel tank.
Okay.
This one goes to the sensor over there. This one goes to your valve here. This one goes to another line that runs over that way. It slides right down into a canister just like this right here.
Yeah.
It's got a little holder. It just slides into it. It don't bolt or nothing.
If you see right at the tip of my finger, that's the thing where it slides in and out of right there. And then on that hose underneath it, did you just pull it off or something?
It just come right off right here.
Alright.
Slide the clamp ball.
So we're saving this hose, that's why we're taking it off there. You may want to
take it off there.
Take it off right there. There's just a hose clamp pulled off right there, but we're saving the hose.
That's the vacuum going to your brake booster.
Okay. That gives you power brakes.
Yep. Alright, then you have a fuel line down here.
Alright, so you can follow this line right down there and grab on that little hose clamp and then pull that hose off. Okay guys, now if you're not bringing that compressor with you, or if you're just putting in a new engine, new transmission, and you come out with the old and with the new, then what you'll do is you'll remove 4 bolts off of that AC compressor and just keep it tied to the car kinda, so that way you don't have to disconnect all the stuff here. Alright guys, and the next thing you're going to want to do is jack up the car. And basically, hey Robert,
yeah,
it's sliding that way off the block. Is that okay?
I got about that much block under.
Okay, alright, cool. Alright, yes. And then make sure to put it on a jack stand. You don't want to be getting underneath the car if the car could possibly fall on you. So jack it up, put it on jack stands.
Steel blocks.
Yeah, we're using steel blocks instead of jack stands. So then we'll go ahead and work on getting the axles out of our way and then anything else underneath there. Okay guys, and real quick, I just want to show you too where you can find your 4 bolts to remove your air compressor. You've got one sitting right there at the tip of my finger, and we've got one here on the other side. It's going to be right there at the tip of my finger as well. Then, right down below both of those, you're going to find 2 that look just like right there at the flathead screwdriver. And then, like I said, when you look below, you'll find 2 that are like in similar places. And then, it's going to be a 14 millimeter bolt, right?
I think 12, I believe.
14 or 12, yeah.
I think it's 12. I don't want to tell you.
It's a 12. Cool. So now we'll take a look underneath the car and see about getting those axles off and other stuff.